1, 2, check 1, 2. Hello. Welcome everybody to the Bro Week 7 Game of the Week. Welcome everybody to the Bro Week 7 Game of the Week. We started off here with an opening kickoff for a touchback from the Cowboys to the Commanders. Starting off the game with a play action, going straight out of bounds. Sorry to everybody that this is a little bit scuffed, but we are working with what we got. Second and 10 from 25. Looks like a dime look by the Cowboys. Would have been great to run into, but just a little out for 3 yards from Sam Howell. Nice little start from Sam Howell. We have a Cowboys user in sight who really loves to come with these blitzes. So early on, if the Commanders can just kind of do little dumps, short slants, short drags, and just kind of beat the blitz right off the bat, they have a really good chance of winning this. Nobody is lined up over that receiver. Nice little seam straight out for a little first down on third down. That dagger on third down is always something to look out for. Just 1 second, guys. First down and 10 with the first run of the game from the Commanders, going for 13. It's a really hard defensive front to run against this Cowboys team, but when they give you a cover 2 inverted look like that, it helps it a lot, especially in 3-4 with 3 receivers on the field, which is a little silly in my opinion, but go for it. One high safety, looks like a base cover 3 look. Oh, I stand corrected, a cover 1, just a little zig out. Get it to your best receiver and give him some space. This is a really hyped, really good match coming in. We have the undefeated Cowboys, which are one of 2 teams that are left undefeated between him and the Chiefs, and a 5-1 record coming in for the Commanders, which is a big step up from their last season record, coming in, I believe, at a 4-12, 4-15, or 4-13, going from last in the division to right now second, possibly first with the win here. I don't know if Scary Terry's the one I want taking that jet sweep there, but it's not a bad play call. Just kind of accidentally ran into a blitz. Not the worst thing ever. Coming out in tight doubles. I'm shocked to not see a blitz here, but if he can stay back in a nice little zone coverage, make Howell make a throw, which he's had some issues doing so far early in the year. But just a little too much space underneath allowed the mesh to develop and get a first down. Howell hasn't necessarily struggled, but he's never somebody that you really want. Like, he's not one of those people that you're going out and looking for, but he's definitely serviceable. Nice heavy set here. Nice little issue with the stream there. I hope it's all up and running again. Just a nice little stretch for 5 yards to start that play off. Or to start that first down off. Another heavy set here in the red zone. Are we going to see... Are we going to see another run here on second down, or a short little pass? Starting some hot routes. Play action. Running right into the blitz with a wide open tight end just at the 5-yard line. probably still a smart decision to throw that away. You don't want to try and force that here in the red zone. Third down and 5 here. Just need something short, something easy to just kind of move the sticks. Probably a little stick concept. And offensive timeout here by the Commanders. Just gonna make sure that they get the play call they really want here, rather than trying to rush it on big third down here on the opening drive. Three receivers to the right in a bunch formation, which Scary Terry down in that middle. Nice little spacing concept. Gets Scary Terry right there at the 9-yard line for a first down. It was a pivot concept, my bad. Against the cover 2 defense, right there at the break. That middle linebacker has to get depth in order to get that 10-yard in and try and cover that shallow zig route. So it's a nice little concept here on 3rd and 5 to open it out. Scary Terry is uncovered. Oh, now they got somebody over him. RPO, look. Howell keeps it and goes down back at the 9. A 4-yard loss, probably not going to be counted as a sack, but a tackle for loss on Howell. Not necessarily the wrong read, but you just gotta take that and carry it straight down instead of holding it for a little bit and seeing if you want to throw it. That really has to be a decision right at the snap. Second down and goal from the 9 for the Commanders. A big touchdown here would be huge to start this game off. Get the Cowboys playing from a deficit. They have some great running backs there. If you allow them to play with the lead, you're not getting it back. Just checking it down underneath for an 8-yard gain, getting tackled just short of that end zone at the 1. Third and goal from the 1. A QB sneak from the Commanders, and they're just short. The QB sneak does not get them in there, and they're just short. 4th and 1. Do you go for it here? In my opinion, you really have to. This long of a drive to come away with 3 is a disappointment. If you don't get it, they're still at the 1-yard line. They have to go their length of the field. Yeah, you really just have to go for this one. Now, is it going to be a run up the middle, a toss, or a play action? I kind of like a power here, but that's just me. And another timeout taken by the Commanders. It's a big 4th down, but on your opening drive to take 2 timeouts is really big. That's just not something that you can do lightly. And coming out in gun now, going from everybody from 4 tight ends, I think it was on the line, to going out in gun. That same look that we saw the RPO from earlier, that resulted in a loss. But this time it slants, and it's tipped around and dropped by the Cowboys defenders. Instead of getting it at the 20, they're getting it at the 1, which is a big difference. Um, I still think you have to go for it there. I still think it's the right call, even without the points. They're now at the 1 yard line. You can get safety. You kind of had to go for it there. Now the Cowboys coming out for the first time. A fullback dive gets him 3 and gets him out of the really just shadow of the goal line. You're still a little too close to be going for something too crazy, but you got a little bit of space. Slants are now open. You can run outside zones. Just giving you a little bit more to play with. Opening up that playbook a little bit. Another quick run. Gets them out to the 5. 3rd and 5 coming up. To go 3 and out here would be big. Get a stop at the 1 yard line is huge for the Dallas, but if they go back and they just have a 3 and out, that's a Commanders win. Just for going for the touchdown there and then trying to reach for just something big. Cowboys really need a first down, give their punter a little bit of breathing room. Goes for a quick little drag, run after the catch, gets him about 10 and a first down. That's a big first down. And that's Dak's first pass of the day, going in right before the end of the first quarter. The Commanders really just are going to try and play defensive football and just not allow Dak or the Cowboys to have the ball much. And a big screen with a lot of space in front, they get 10, but he runs right into the defender after 10, and that's all he'll pick up. It looked like he had a little bit more space to go all the way, or not all the way, but just get a lot more green in front of him. And he runs right into that defender, and that's all he'll get. A big heavy set for the Cowboys. And they'll snap it right before the end of the first quarter, go underneath, and pick up another 9 or 10. They will give them the first down, so that's going to be 10 yards. And it'll move the sticks. But it's the end of the first quarter. And the Cowboys are starting to get into a rhythm, which is scary if you're the Commanders, to just have a long drive that doesn't end up in any points. Now they're at the 40, and they're going to start to drive in. Four-three defensively. Inside handoff. No, it's an end around. Gayton gets the ball and he gets tackled for a loss of 2. An end around to the short side of the field is a call that was made. I think you need a little bit more space to run that, but yeah, you just need a little bit more space to get outside. Underneath is open, and that's exactly where he'll go for it. Pick up another 4 or 5. This looks to be one of those games where you just don't make a mistake and you just slowly march down the field. A big 3 yards in a cloud of dust type situation. We see that a lot with quite a few teams here, which seems to be the way to go with it. These are 2 teams that are undefeated and has 1 loss, so this is a big way to pick it up if you're one of these guys who just can't seem to get a win. Trying to go underneath and just kind of check it down and march down the field seems to be working a lot better as he throws a really risky pass that should have been picked right into that cover one zone. The safety was just right there, brings up a fourth down. But almost completely contrary to what I was saying, you almost need to just slowly march down the field. And they decided, and you just can't you gotta play mistake-free football. And that was the one mistake from them, which ended up not harming him too much, but ended up causing a punt. And a very bad Cowboys bounce on that punt brought it back from the 8 to the 15, doubling the Commanders' room to operate. Sam Howell making adjustments at the line. Looks like they're calling it audible. I would assume a run to the left based off all the motion that's going on here, and it is not. Just a nice little check down again. Might have had that tight end just going over the top, but not necessarily a bad read. Just pick up 5, move the sticks. I'd be really curious to see the time of possession here. It feels like the Commanders almost already have like 7 or 8 minutes, which is just big. Just a big time difference. What looks to be another big front from the Commanders. Just a lot of tight ends in here trying to make moves. Some more hot routes at the line by Howell. Snap comes off at 2. And it's a run right up the middle that gets stuffed. And Jalen Rivers, I believe the left guard for that Commanders team, just limps off the field a little bit, calling for the trainer. Against this Cowboys front, that is a huge injury. They just have such a strong front where any small injury is just gonna result in big changes. Five wide, and then 5 wide for the Commanders, dime for the Cowboys. The Cowboys covered a lot of it. They had some nice coverage down the field. Maybe that seam was open, but it's not the risky throw that you want to make. And that's just a coverage sack by the Dallas Cowboys. Both defenses making big stops here. And a big punt return down to the 30. The Cowboys will start with the ball at the 30-yard line. Just the second time that any team has seen field goal range today. Halfway through the second. I think if you're the Cowboys and you find yourself in the same position the Commanders did earlier, at that 1-yard line, 4th and goal, I think you just have to kick it. But that's way down the road. Can't be thinking about that yet. Dak Prescott comes out off the field, and Jaden Daniels will take over for a snap. Looks like a read option that runs right into Chase Young for a loss of 4. And I don't know if the Cowboys will keep Daniels running read options with something like that. Just a big hit in the backfield. Now the Cowboys just have to make sure that they're staying in field goal range on this 3rd and 11. A first down is nice, but more importantly, not getting sacked and getting thrown out of field goal range. Some underneaths. And a big sack there at the 35, which will be just at the line for what field goal range could be. Actually, I take that back, only a 52-yarder, and they have the wind to their back. They should be a makeable field goal. It's up and off the right upright. This game continues to be 0-0. 5 minutes left into the second quarter. That is a big miss. In a game that every point seems like it will matter, a missed field goal might be the difference between a win and a loss here, or a win and a tie. Right there, the Commanders going for verts. The Cowboys were just in man, had everything covered. They just checked it down and went for the free 2 yards there. A run to the outside by Gibson, gets 3 or 4 yards, brings up another 3rd and 5. It feels like the 3rd or 4th 3rd and 5 of the game so far. Their own 47. They need about 2 or 3 yards, or they need 3 yards to be able to go for it, and they need 5 for a first down. The people who bet the over, like Swipe It, are not happy about this being 0-0. This looks to be a defensive battle. So, running the mesh, the underneath was wide open. He decided to hit the little slant curl that was right at the safety, just overthrown, and just a miss thrown by Howe. The punting unit comes on the field for the Commanders. At the 20, take it back to the 24-yard line, 23-yard line. With 3 minutes, 27 seconds left to go in this half. Both offenses need to step up. One high safety. Looks like man again. And just thrown away before the sack. It doesn't look like anybody in particular, just get that ball out of there. Ezekiel Elliott to the red Dak Prescott. A run inside for what looks to be 2, which brings up a 3rd and 8, which has happened a lot so far. Bunch right, we've seen this quite a bit from the Cowboys already. We see the zig route, but with a backside slant, or a same side slant as the zig. Gayton comes up with a big first down, bringing it up to the Cowboys' 40-yard line with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to go in the half. Just need about 20 yards to be in field goal position. An RPO goes to Zeke, and he gets about 15 of those 20 yards. I believe the Cowboys do have the win with them still, so they could possibly make a field goal from here. But last time it goes off the right post, and they were on the left upright or left hash mark, so they might want to get back over there. A 5-wide look for the Cowboys, but with JT Daniels in instead of Dak, we're going to see how exactly this is going to work for him. A draw for it, draw for about 10, draw for 11. He makes contact at about the 8 or 9. or 8 or 9 yards in and just keeps plowing ahead. They go into the hurry up. A quick screen to Gayton again, who seems to be the Cowboys' main guy who fights forward. Gets hit in the backfield and fights forward for about 3 yards. Elliott gets hit in the backfield, going back to 3rd and 10, taking away the 3 yards they got from that screen the play before. A timeout is called by the Commanders. They are out because of the 2 timeouts they took in that first quarter on their first drive. This might come back and haunt them because one more run and the Cowboys can bring that down to 22 seconds before kicking the field goal. About 19 seconds after a make. But the Cowboys throw it. And it's intercepted by Bush. And he has space. He has green grass to the 40, the 35, the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. And in the end zone for the first points of the game, which is a defensive pick six when the Cowboys were in field goal range with a minute left in the second quarter. Just a silly throw by Dak. Goes right to the defense. And there, the Commanders take the lead. The Dallas Cowboys will get the ball back with about 50 seconds left in the half. But their offense is going to be really tired after chasing him down. Which may not matter. It will matter. The return goes to about the 27-yard line. And the Cowboys take back over with all 3 timeouts and 46 seconds left, where they really need a touchdown here. Or points, I should say. The Cowboys do get the ball back to start the second half. So just any points would be big here. But another throw out of sack. This one just airmails to the sidelines. The fan might have caught that ball. Now, if you're the Cowboys, do you just run this out? Another risky throw. Could have been picked off. I don't know necessarily if I saw Hargrave running. Hargrave might have been in a zone right there, but he took away that underneath route. And coming out in a passing formation with 36 seconds left on 3rd down, they really just need to get the clock going or get a first down like that. Taking their first time out with 29 seconds left in the half at the 43-yard line. Again, they'll need about 20 yards, 15 yards to be in field goal position. With already 1 miss and 1 pick in field goal range. It's not necessarily a guarantee. Dak is running around back there and just going to chuck it out of bounds into the 3rd row, where a fan will hopefully get that souvenir and be able to take that home. Second and 10 with 23 seconds left. The middle of the field is still open. They can run wherever they want. They just need to get about 10-15 yards to get into field goal range. They run a screen underneath. They're going to get 10, 15, 20, and about 22 yards before he has to step out at the 34. They missed from 52 on this left hash. This would be a 54-yard, or no, this would also be a 52. So it would be the same exact distance as the last one that went off the upright. There's 15 seconds with 2 timeouts. They can still run anything they want. A flood concept to Gallup, who gets both feet down at the 13 and gets out of bounds. So they get to keep both timeouts. He gets out of bounds at the 13-yard line with 11 seconds. Enough for 2 plays in the end zone before needing to kick the field goal. Mesh underneath to Howard. And he gets 5, but takes off 6 seconds. With 5 seconds left in the game, or in the half. You really only have one more chance, and then you have to kick it. Or they're just going to come out and kicking now. For 25 yards and go straight down. 2 seconds left in the half. As long as it's not a kick return for a touchdown, that will probably be the end of the half. A heavy set for the Commanders. Looks like they're just going to run up the middle, see if anything will happen. It will not. He is down at the 38-yard line, and that ends the first half with the score of 7-3. An amazing just defensive stand by both teams. Commanders allowing the Cowboys into field goal position twice, with nothing coming from it. One with a big pick six, and the other with a missed field goal from 52 yards out. Before the Cowboys march it down inside the 10 and have to settle for a field goal because of time. And the Commanders' only points coming off of defense after marching down the field in the first quarter all the way down to the 1 and not being able to put it into the end zone there. Cowboys get the ball, 26-yard line. A run up the gut for about 4 or 5 for Zeke. Both teams have been able to move the ball okayly in open space, but when it comes down closer to field goal range in the red zone, just not able to execute. Zeke gets another 4 yards, and the Cowboys go into a hurry up on 3rd and 1. Another run up the gut from Zeke, getting about 5 before getting taken down. He has 8 rushes for 31 yards and a 2 or 3 really important first down so far. Full house formation by these Cowboys. It's a pass, look like a curl concept with a nice little flat out to the fullback for 9. Second down and 1, a great time to make a play action shot. but the Cowboys will just hand the ball off and it gets blown up by the Commander linebacker, Davis. I believe that's Jordan Davis, just in the backfield, blowing up Jones and making it 3rd and 1. Cowboys back in shotgun on 3rd and 1 as they were in 2nd and 1. A nice little underneath concept thrown to the tight end and dropped. Oh, hold on. Just some rules clarification, seeing if you can go for it on 4th and 1, which you can on any side of the field. If you're on the opponent side of the field, you can go for it on 4th and 3 and less. Or if you are down in the 4th quarter, you can go for it. And in overtime, you can go for it at any length. So on your own side is 4th and 1, which we have here. You can go for it. Which is the right call. 4th and 1 at your own 48-yard line. You're down 7-3. There's no point not going for it. You did just get stuffed and then have a drop underneath, which does both hurt. But if you can get a nice little shallow concept here and can get a catch, it's big. A slant over the middle gets caught, and a big hit by the corner in the cover 3. Before they go to the hurry up, really liking this formation, seeing what they can do against it. They really like the personnel on defense. A vertical concept. R1. Johnson over the middle makes a big catch, fighting off the defensive linebacker, as Dak takes another big hit, which seems to be the story of the game. Just big hit after big hit. Just a run that gets stuffed again at the 23 this time. Just on the edge of red zone positioning. If they can get a touchdown here, be in the lead, it'll be the first offensive touchdown of the game. One high safety, corners are off. And what looks like a trap. Running back jukes for what feels like no reason, and there's a fumble on the play, recovered by the Cowboys. I'm not sure that was a fumble, but does not matter. Getting covered up by the Cowboys, which is huge. And that was definitely not a fumble. His elbow and knee were definitely down, but it gets covered up by the Cowboys, so it does not make a difference. Dak to Howard, back in the end zone, is not caught, or is caught out of bounds. 4th and 9. You have to kick it here. This will make it a 7-6 ball game. Some nice old football here against the wind, left hash, and it goes through. 7-6, making that miss earlier huge, and that pick earlier that was a pick 6 a lot bigger. Commanders bring it back to the 25. It looked like there was a lot more open grass, but just could not quite get there. Another heavy formation by the Cowboys, or by the Commanders, I should say. Everybody's running around with 8 seconds left on the play clock. Just a pass, looking for a little bit more space in the way they lined up. Irv Smith Jr. with the catch for about 9 yards. The Commanders really just dinking and dunking underneath, allowing the Cowboys to blitz as much as they want. And they're keeping the heavy set out there. They've played really deeply into this heavy set. With the play action, a throw and a breakup by the linebacker, but Michael Parsons was in there hitting Howell as he released it. Third and 1 at your own 34. You're up by 1. A play action on second down there is not a bad play call. Another RPO on the stretch to the weak side with a bubble out. They cover up the bubble. The stretch gets the 2 yards. Gets 2 yards when they needed 1 and gets the first down. Just a slow moving game. Gibson gets 10, 15, about 18. 6 rushes for 38 yards. And with the Commanders having 50 yards rushing for the game, this is just one of those defensive ball games that are hard to watch, honestly. This game does have a big seeding potential, with the Cowboys being the 1 seed. The Commanders, if they win here, will be the 2nd in the division, dropping the Giants to 3rd with their loss to the Packers. If Dallas wins here, they will take firm control of first, being the only one of 2 undefeated teams in the league, other than the other one being the Chiefs. And will have a firm control of the division, being 1.5 games up on the closest team. Just an underneath throw, does not net any yards for the Commanders. 3rd and 7 at the Cowboys 45. I believe the Commanders should have the win here, if I'm not mistaken. This would be very close in a field goal, but I feel like you would have to punt or go for it if you can get within 3 yards. Oh, a big throw to, I believe, Dotson it was, by Howell. Just finding the open space in the cover 3 and just zipping it right into that window for a first down. So more shotgun for the Commanders. flipping the running back to the other side and running it right into the blitz. Micah Parsons playing from the other edge, cleaning up after a gain of 1. Only Parsons' second tackle, but he's been a lot more involved in the game than just the 2 tackles. Play action. Throw to McLaurin for what looks to be about 15 and a big first down. A nice little zig route, creating some space against some man coverage, brings them into the red zone at the 14-yard line. A good opportunity to make this a 2-score lead with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, or an 8-point lead, and making the Cowboys score a touchdown, which they have not done yet, and a 2-point conversion. Whoever took the under on this game today has to be really happy going into the fourth quarter with a 13-point ball game. I don't know what to say other than the defense have been outstanding. It hasn't necessarily even been the offense is failing, just the defense is making plays with some more mesh concept right to the DB who cannot hold it in. That just a little bit late on that mesh. He had some open space if it got out there earlier, but just could not get there. Brings up 2nd and 10 here. Bunch to the right. McLaurin is all alone. To the left. Snap. Another zig. Vander Esch falls down at the break of the route. I don't know if that was a push off or just an excellent move. And I did see the receiver. I believe that was Dotson again with a beautiful route and a first down. Sites in the chat not liking that one bit, but who can blame him? That was insane. A fairly light box with 3 tight ends in. Motion across. Nobody comes with. Ball's out. Just a short underthrow to that tight end who moved across, and that's a touchdown. (14-6) ball game here. Cowboys need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie. And they didn't look bad, just that one drop pick, and then the Vander Esch falling over on the break of that route. He looked like he had it covered. Cowboys are taking it out after a long pause and only get back to the 15-yard line. Eight minutes left to go. Cowboys down by 6. This is not a must-have drive, but with the way the Commanders have been covering, you really need it here. Another underneath to Elliott for about 10 and a first down. A field goal here doesn't do much. It's really a touchdown or bust here. 7 minutes left to go in the game. Gallup wide open over the middle, and that will be a first down and a lot more, going up to the opponent's 44-yard line. The underneath cross was covered up well, but the over the top cross, Gallup just beat his man, and Dak found him for a huge gain. Another light box for the Commanders. Gayton going in motion, the corner following him across. But it looks like a last-second change of the play. Prescott's running around and gets found by Chase Young again for the second time today. It looks like the defensive tackle, who I can't quite tell you who it was, helped clean it up. But that is Chase's sack all day long. You just cannot leave him one-on-one with the right tackle for that long. A great sack, but also a great coverage sack. Nobody was really open there. A run up the middle. Elliott had a huge hole, but just ran right into the DT. He picks up about 7 or 8 still. Cowboys going hurry up. Might be a little early on time, but they might like the personnel matchup here. Looks like slant's coming across. The underneath slant is open, and he finds Gayton, who takes a big hit by that cover 3 corner. But back to hurry up again. Cowboys must really like the personnel here, because you don't want to be scoring too quick. Jordan Davis misses a tackle on Zeke, who then takes a big hit by the slot cornerback. Cowboys go back into the huddle, come back out, and back to that same play to Gallup that got them a bunch of yards earlier. This time it goes in for the touchdown. That flood corner route, exposing the cover 3, getting a big touchdown here with 5 minutes left in the game, making this 12-14, and obviously the Cowboys are going for it here. And just thrown away, not giving anybody really a shot at the ball. Might not. The Commanders get the ball back, up 14-12, with 5 minutes left. The Cowboys do have the win. If they can force a punt, it will be a shorter field. Commanders are coming out throwing it, get it to Gibson outside, who picks up about 15 before going up. Or they say he stayed inbounds, which is big, keeps that clock running. I thought they got him out of bounds, but the referees did not think so. A field goal, and it's still a one possession game. A touchdown here and might seal it. or if they can just keep that ball like they did in the first quarter. Cowboys are stacking the box up. The Commanders make a change. Throw underneath, looks like a screen, but it gets clobbered up, and a big sack by Mike Parsons. For it looks like 1.5 on the day. Just could not get that ball out on the screen. The lineman just got caught up. 2nd and 21 with 4 minutes left in the game. Up by 2 for the Commanders. And they don't even have a running back in the game. They just told him to get off the field. Going 5 wide here. Commanders look like they're changing the play up at the line. Looks like another screen. This time he gets to Samuel, and he gets about 15. Or no, he gets about 11 back. Going to be a 3rd and 9. Just a nice short little screen. Picks up 9, keeps the clock running. Just about 2:50 needed at the next snap if they drain it all the way down. And going 5 wide again, with a first down being very important here. They're not even going to think about running for it. They're going to come out in 5 wide. Some underneath concepts. Gets underneath, breaks the tackle, but cannot get to the sticks. 4th and 1. A huge decision here. The Cowboys call a timeout. And the Commanders are thinking about going for it here. A pause for another rules clarification in the same exact situation as earlier. Like, same yard line, same amount to go. This one is so big because if they do not get it, they give the Cowboys the ball back at the 48-yard line. And if they do get it, it almost seals the game for the Commanders. The play clock is down to about 10 seconds. Empty set again. Another empty set. 4th and 1. You have to wonder what they're thinking. 3, 2, they get the play off. It's a draw on 4th and 1, and Howell gets it. Howell goes for about 8 on the draw. A ballsy play by the Commanders coach. Gets it done. It's not quite over. Yeah, another first down seals it, but that's as close as you can get to see on that play. Just an insane play call. A run up the gut for about 3. And that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. I'm still hung up on that draw on 4th and 1. It worked, but wow, what a call. Terry McLaurin in the slot, but it has to be assumed that they're just running it again unless it's another RPO. Baton Bounderish out in space who makes the tackle. They get up to the 38-yard line on 3rd and 4 now. Cowboys are not taking a timeout here. Which is silly. You just have to take a timeout there. You have 2 left. Commanders coming out in shotgun again. Commanders are straining this play clock. I'm really curious to see the time of possession after this game. And they just call a timeout. They didn't like it, but they just wanted to drain that clock all the way down before calling the timeout. A very smart play. A delay game would not have been good there. Just call your timeout. You have 3 of them, and you do not need them as of right now. Third and 4. What will they call, though? This is a big moment in the game. Back in shotgun. A light box for the Cowboys. A lot is happening. They're throwing it. A catch by Samuel and goes for a first down. Van Der Esch went for the ball again and got beat by Dotson again. That's the second time being beat. This time on a little slant curl, and the other time on the zig, and that will seal the game up. The Commanders are going to win this with 1 offensive touchdown. Gibson runs it for 7, but all that matters now is he does not cough up the football. This game is over. And what a brutal way for the Dallas Cowboys' undefeated season to come to an end. That gives the Commanders a lead in the division at 5-1. The Dallas Cowboys also tied at 5-1. And the New York Giants at 4-1-1. The only team with a losing record right now are the Eagles, who come in at a 2-3, not playing their game yet. This might be the division to watch in this game, or in this season. But a beautiful game played by both these teams. Just a nice, close defensive game. I don't know what you can say other than close defensive game. As the Washington Commanders take the win over the Cowboys 14-12, and it is official. The story of the game, obviously the pick 6. Also the Commanders just holding on to the ball. I feel like if the Cowboys had a few more possessions, this game could have went very differently, very quickly. But just holding on to the ball, not letting the Cowboys ever get started off their rhythm. And just a great game by the Commanders, playing it perfectly. Well, that will do this Week 7 broadcast of Game of the Week, sponsored by Fleshlight. Everybody have a good one. See you.